Hello, my lads and lovelies. Captain Edward von Arkham here, coming to you from on board the MHS Hysteria. Well, a great many things happened today. Where to begin? Why don't I start by saying we now know why Professor Peasley abandoned the expedition in 1935. Earlier this morning, we were attempting to fathom the depth of one of those grated trapdoor-like pits we discovered in a buried city by lowering a knotted rope into it. We had measured about 70 feet when we heard something. A low, singular whistling noise, echoing from deeper than we could measure. Within seconds, there burst forth from the blackness a gust of dreadfully putrid foetor, which nearly turned our stomachs. And what happened next was beyond imagining. From out of that bottomless pit there emerged three of the most unspeakable aberrations of cosmic horror that I can ever hope to describe. They were entities of terrible, half-polypus shape and monstrous plasticity that loomed horribly in mid-air despite the absence of any visible means of levitation. We immediately opened fire, but our shells neither harmed nor slowed the monstrous things. They seemed to be only partly material in the relative sense, and any assault we could hope to make would prove terribly futile. So naturally, we made a break for it. Though almost before we had turned to run, the polyps released some sort of gas in a noxious cloud behind us. Poor Oft inhaled some of the stuff, but we helped him to his feet and kept running. Fortunately, the rock-choked corridors were narrow enough to slow the things down, enough for us to make it back to the ship in time. But as we lifted off, we saw the three horrid atrocities break through the surface of the ground and fly after us at alarming speed. There was no time to lose, and I am very, very proud of what I came up with. I shouldn't be. It was reckless and stupid, and there was no way of telling if it would work, but it did, so I'm proud. Using the augmented dimensional anchor, we opened a wormhole to 300 feet above the Indian Ocean and 500 years into the future. We flew through to the other side, and the dreaded polypus terrors followed us, close on our tail. But before they could reach the other side, I ran below deck and used the eternity clock to measure the frequency charge of the wormhole, and then ran back above deck and tuned the Hysteria's bow-mounted Tesla cannon to match the reciprocal frequency. Though my comprehension of the Yith's method of tachyon ionization was only theoretical, there was a chance that we could replicate it. We all crossed our fingers, and just as the creatures were about to break through the wormhole, we opened fire, shooting a furious bolt of reciprocal charge through the gaping portal mouth. And it worked! We watched in astonishment as the wormhole condensed into a great, broad slab of solid tachyon ions, with the polyps trapped inside. And then we watched as the whole thing fell out of the sky and sunk to the bottom of the Indian Ocean. So that's where it is. And let's hope it stays there. So now we know why Professor Peasley tried to bury the secret. We must find out more about these polypus aberrations, and what on earth they were doing buried in Narcotis. Well, that's our time for today. I'm going to take a look in the narcotic manuscripts for any mention of those horrid things. Until next time, stay mad, my duckies. I deserve a pat on the back.